Good morning. Welcome to Pinky Miles Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, and otherwise known as Pinky Miles Sisters in the Kitchen. But my sister, which is part of Pinky Miles, is not with me this morning because she is packing and getting ready to go to Ireland. And I have my oldest daughter with me, Carla, today. Thank you, Carla, for helping me. She said, thank you for letting me be on your live. I said, oh my goodness, thank you for helping me. You know, she's always helped us, but she's kind of been in the background. And
that's where I prefer to be.
But she's going to be helping me today, kind of help, because, you know, I can always use some help in the kitchen. I hope that y'all are having a great day, a great morning, or whatever time it is in your part of your area. It's cloudy here. Mm-hmm. It's real cloudy.
I came through rain. It was raining when I left. I had to have an umbrella to pack my car up.
Yeah. So we're probably going to get some rain. But today I'm going to make a peach crumb bars, or some peach crumb bars. And it does take a while for them to cook. So if I don't get them completed out of the oven within an amount of time, well then I will just come back live and we can show you after they've come out of the oven. But first of all, let me get a bowl. Let me get this. It's 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Get this baking powders out of the way. All right. Carla, Carla. I'm about to decide to fill me up another cup if you don't mind. There's a leveler in there.
I think I just buried it.
That's okay. You know, my girls, when they were growing up, I've been thinking about this a lot. Just kind of tap it a little bit because it'll, yeah, thank you. They didn't really want to be in the kitchen. I need one more.
No.
They just didn't want to be in the kitchen. So I love to cook, so I didn't make them. And that was probably a mistake. I should have insisted that they get in there. They can both cook. And since they got grown and has a family, they have asked me. Thank you. Go ahead and put it in there. So that's 3 cups of all-purpose flour. And we're sponsored by Imperial Sugar. I still need that cup. So this is Imperial Sugar. We're going to need a cup. Imperial Sugar. I preheated the oven to 350. We missed Linda this morning.
Yes, hi Linda Faye.
This is 1 cup of Imperial Sugar, extra fine sugar. And Carla, I need a teaspoon of baking powders. I was noticing my baking powders this morning and my cornstarch both is getting low. I've got to make another trip to Sam's. So that's 1 cup of sugar.
One thing about Mama's pantry is it is always stocked. You can count on it.
And then I got to stop by. I like a backup before I run out. And that can accumulate awful fast. So I'm slowly trying to just before I run out to go get some more. But you know what? One of these days I'm going to forget to go get it and I'm going to run out. Okay, Carla, give me a half a teaspoon of salt. And
I get to play sous chef today.
and a 1/4 teaspoon of our cinnamon.
Okay.
I'm going to get my whisk out of here.
You know what I've always wanted to know? What? People who write recipes, they like a messy kitchen. They like using every single measuring spoon and measuring cup and multiple bowls. And I don't understand why that's a thing, but it's a thing. You're going to use a different size for everything.
Okay.
You said
a fourth teaspoon of cinnamon. That hasn't always been the case, Carla.
No?
No. The only reason I've dirty so many measuring things
no, it's
now.
not. It's the recipe.
Yeah, the recipe, yeah.
I mean, why couldn't it have been 1 teaspoon of all those things? Nope, it's got to
be. Well, it makes a difference.
1/4, 1/2, 1/3, 1.
Well, it has to be because you don't want a teaspoon of salt, you know. Well, so anyway,
Just
before I started doing videos, I didn't dirty. I would take that teaspoon and I'd use that same teaspoon for my fork and my half because I just judged it.
Just eyeball it.
Yeah, yeah. So I do use a lot of dishes whenever because I'm trying to show y'all how much to put in it.
But it just seems inevitably that every recipe that I pick has that.
Oh. Okay.
I made a German chocolate cake for Scott's birthday last year. It had a different measurement item for every single ingredient.
Now I'm going to put 2 sticks of butter, and I left this in the refrigerator because I wanted it to stay cold. So Carla, get that little knife over there, and I'll let you cut one of them. I'm going to cut it in little bitty slices, in small slices, so it would be easier to mix up.
I'll put it in there.
Yeah. And then we're gonna, this is going to be the crust. And then we're gonna reserve some of it to go on top. But this is gonna be the crust in a 9 by 13 inch pan.
I love fresh summer peaches.
Well,
Just about anything made with peaches.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a hit with me.
These are fresh peaches.
She had these little peach, cute little peach pie things.
Yeah, Linda did yesterday. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
I messed up and got real full on the meal.
Did you?
Yeah, but she sent one home with me.
Did
Uncle Mine packed a bag this big.
Oh, I'm
full
sure.
of food to go.
I'm sure. They're like me. They want to get rid of it. So we cook it and then we have to find somebody to give it to.
It will not be wasted at my house. I will eat every bit of it. What other people don't.
Thank you, Linda, Carla. See, I got to get used to that. Okay, I am going to, if you don't mind, this, well, the flavoring I'm going to need in a minute, though. I'm going to use a pastry brush, pastry blender first, and then I'm going to use a fork. But I want this butter to get incorporated in my...
Can we do that?
You can, if you want to. Just
I might make a mess.
I don't always use the pastry blender, but since it was 2 sticks, I knew
have muscles to use this little thing.
Yeah. Well, that's one reason that I need starting out on the pastry blender is I'm going to eventually use a fork, and then that way I can get it into smaller little pieces, little crumbles. That's my oven. I got it preheating 350. Thank you, Carla. Let me see here. Let me take the fork and get that butter off. I found a pie crust recipe that I'm going to try. I've got lots of pie crust recipes, but I seen one the other day that I just might want to try. Do it one more time, Carla. A little bit longer. Get them chopped up a little bit smaller pieces of butter, and then I'm going to use my fork to make it more crumbly. I was telling Carla.
Don't let go of that bowl. We'll have the biggest mess you've ever had in every show you've ever done. I am capable.
Well, I guarantee it wouldn't be hard to do to knock this bowl off. My counter is kind of high. If I ever got a home, if I ever had a chance to have a home, like I'd want my counters lower because I have to reach up like this.
You're short.
Yeah, I'm short. Yeah. And if some of you haven't looked already, my sister Linda, she put on our page this morning about her diet. She did a video. It was a Boston cream pie. So if you're interested in knowing what she eats, she told y'all on that video the Boston cream pie. So I know several of you have asked what she eats, and so she made a comment on our page so y'all would know what she's been eating to lose her weight. Well, Carla and I both, we lost last year.
2 years. It's been
Are
2
you
years.
sure?
I'm positive because it was a year ago last summer Annette Scott had already been on that diet program for a whole year.
I didn't know it'd been that long.
2 years.
Okay. Anyway, we a couple of years ago, Carla and I went on a diet, but it was Octavia, and we was using Octavia food, and for all the meals, and except for one, we eat protein and vegetables. We eat one meal a day besides the little meals that Octavia. That's fine. And Carla, didn't you lose about 50 pounds? 60. Carla lost 60 pounds.
But I put some of that back on, and I'm okay with that because it's muscle, and I'm stronger than I look.
Well, I lost 40 pounds, but I've gained 10
She's
of
tiny,
it.
but she's fierce.
Yeah, you are. I put 10 pounds back on, but I'm seriously thinking about getting back on it and losing that 10 pounds. It won't be that hard to do, but it's just making up my mind.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking about doing
the hardest part is getting started.
Yes.
Getting started that first 4 days, I'd say, is just plan on it being hard.
Yeah,
and make your itinerary, your schedule for those 4 days as light as can be.
Yes.
Be good to yourself.
Yes.
You know, binge watch TV, do a spa day, whatever works for you. Have that scheduled for those 4 days, and then the rest of it is not hard at all. I mean, it's just as simple as being disciplined and sticking to the program. You just do on that particular one, you eat their food 5 or 6 times a day.
You eat every 2 hours.
You're constantly eating.
You
something.
eat every 2 hours, and I like that plan
Me
because
too.
you never get hungry.
You're not hungry
You
at
never
all.
get hungry. So that's kind of I think what helped me is I never got hungry.
You have like a 1 meal a day that you eat a meat protein, 6 ounces, and 2 vegetable sides. And personally, what I did, what worked for me, was I split that in half, and I ate 3 ounces of meat at lunch with one of my vegetables, and then in the evening time, I'd eat the other half of that meat with a vegetable, and I felt like I was eating 2 meals a day. It was enough for me. And then the other food that they had, some of it, I'll be real honest, not good.
No, some of it I could.
If
could
it don't
not
taste
eat.
good, I can't do it. I'm just not. I'd rather starve.
When I figured it out, I only ordered what I liked.
That's the thing, is that you order what you like, and that's what I got on a plan that I just ordered the things that I knew worked for me.
I took 2.5 cups of this flour and sugar mixture, and butter, and I'm reserving that. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put something in that.
What?
The vanilla and the egg.
Oh, that might be important.
Yeah. Give me the egg over there, please, Carla. I forgot to put my vanilla. Let's see here. 1 teaspoon of vanilla in this. I tell you what. Yeah. Let me get something over there to beat that egg up. Crack that egg in that, please.
I have songs in my head all the time.
Is that right?
I do.
Just. Yeah, Carla's a singer. To get this done, we'll
Mindy, happy birthday.
Yes.
She made me a mom on this day 36 years ago.
Yeah.
That does not seem possible.
I know.
I have a child 36 years old. Mindy Marie, my sweet, sweet, sweet girl. Her birthday is 7/11/87.
That's my first granddaughter, her daughter.
Such an angel
Yes.
she is.
She's okay, we'll pour this egg in here. 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Thank you, Carla. I'm just gonna stir it up.
Want to sing?
Yeah, let's sing happy birthday to Mindy.
Oh,
happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. May you feel Jesus near every day of the year. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh, happy birthday to you. And the best you've ever had. Woo! birthday, Mindy. Mindy's husband is going for a treatment today. He's the one who has the stomach cancer. And so
we love you, Ryan.
we love you, Ryan. We're praying
In our
for you.
thoughts and prayers.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yes.
I want to
Lord.
go see them so
I
bad.
do too, Carla.
I'm just
I really want to go see
really
them.
missing them.
I'm gonna when Linda gets back from Ireland, I'm gonna make a trip up there.
I want to go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just want to go visit her.
Me too.
And,
Hug her neck. I
Right.
want to hug her neck and just
yeah.
visit with her. She's the sweetest person.
She is. She's a carbon copy of her mother. She is the most sweetest, humble, kind person, and the hardest working.
Yeah,
She is. All your kids are hard
Yeah,
workers,
they
but
are.
that Mindy, that child, it just breaks my heart sometimes because she's so independent. She won't ask. She won't ask for. I mean, she can be
I
down.
like that too. I'd rather figure out a way to do it on my own or just do without it.
You know, she can be in need, and she would not tell us for nothing. That's why sometimes we just have to step out and do something for us.
Intervene.
Right, right. All right, I'm gonna get out 2.5 cups of this.
All right, round 2.
Yeah. When I picked that up, I thought that's missing something. All right, let me get another cup. Sorry, I'm gonna make sure I get it mixed good. That's a little bit too much. Okay, set this aside.
I think that pan's so pretty.
And this is our 9x13. Would you get that washcloth, please, and wipe my counter off, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Carla. You're welcome.
I am the unofficial cleanup crew.
She does a good job, too. Okay, now we're going to put this in the bottom of the pan. I'm finished with that, thank you. And we wash our hands before we start, so
Yeah, we do.
we're fixing to put this in the bottom of the pan. This is your crust.
It's awful thick.
It is thick, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I said that when I read that recipe. Y'all, this is no one of them recipes that I've never made. But
Fun. Adventure.
Yeah.
Adventure.
it sounded good. It sounded good. So I said, why not? You know? We'll find out. Don't let me forget, Carla. I'm gonna add some brown sugar to that butter.
Okay.
It didn't call for that, and I did not put it on the
We'll fix it.
menu, on the recipe page, because I didn't think about it. But I just got to reading it, and I thought, I want that crust needs some. I mean, the crumbles that goes on top needs
Something sweet.
some brown sugar. Well, it's got sugar
Yeah,
in
it's
it,
got some sugar in it.
but I want some brown sugar. Okay, so I'm hoping that butter is distributed enough that it's going to make this crust. So there's our crust. Now, Carla, if you'll hand me those peaches over there, please. No, I'm doing 2 things this morning. I'm making a big pot of chicken and dumplings.
That was funny.
Okay. All right. Now, you know what? Let me wash my hands. I'm gonna put. You want to put on some gloves, Carla?
Sure.
To do this, I'm gonna. Because these
I worked in a
peaches-
school cafeteria years ago whenever I was single mom with 4 kids and no I guess you call it an absent father. She just wasn't around.
Yeah.
So I had to have a schedule that kind of matched their schedule. And that was a good schedule for me, the school system. And I ran the snack bar at the junior high. It was like I had my own little store, and all my customers were middle schoolers. It was cool.
She loves kids, so I know that.
And the ladies that I
they
worked
loved her.
with were so family oriented, and we had so much fun. Laugh. It was hard work. Don't get me wrong. They busted over there. The pace is just super fast. But I love being in the kitchen.
Right. I have peeled already. I peeled 10 peaches, but the reason I peeled 10 peaches, I've got 9 on the recipe, is because once I started peeling them and realized I had bought peaches 2 different times, Carla. I bought some at Kroger's and some at Walmart. One of them stores, I picked up the wrong peaches and they're not clean free. And what I mean by clean free.
Yeah, she was telling me that this morning. I never heard of this. So listen, pay attention.
All right. You pick you up a peach, Carla. And
In there?
yeah. This is clean free, and I'll show you. You can just cut it like that, and I am gonna chop them up smaller, but they come right off of the seed. If it's not clean free, that seed is not coming out of there. See how
Mine came off.
you can actually just cut it all the way around, and they'll just pop off.
Yeah, the last peaches I bought, which was from Walmart, did not do this.
And
They were stuck all over that seed.
yeah, and so I cut up another.
So when you're buying them in the store, does it say that on the little?
It should. I wasn't paying any attention. Sometimes you can kind of feel the peach, and it's real soft. It's
Yeah, but I'm afraid those are gonna go bad too fast if I buy more than one.
Well, they
I'm
don't
gonna
have
go home and
bruises.
eat it right now.
If they don't have bruises on it, they
They
won't.
won't?
But anyway, I was just going to show y'all that you want to get clean free, so it'll come right off that seed. And I'm just going to, I'm going to chop it in slices.
I thought you were saying clean, as in
C-L-E-A-N.
C-L-E-A-N, and I'm thinking clean free. So that kind of sounds like a dirty peach, Mom. Do we want dirty peaches?
You're funny.
What?
Then
you saying clean. C-L-I-N-G.
Yes,
like
yes.
a clinging.
Like it's clinging to the
clinging
seed.
to your leg.
Yeah. Okay. And then I'm chopping them up in bite-sized pieces because this is going into the peach bar, making the peach bars. So just
I love summer peaches. There's nothing sweeter than a porch swing and a peach.
okay. Just Carla.
Some music.
I think there's another. You must have peeled. Okay.
I just peeled
All right.
one.
Okay. All right. Just chop these halves that we did up. We don't want a whole slice. You can use frozen peaches if you want to, but I would cut them up before they thawed out. It's just did you know anything is easier to cut when it's frozen or cold?
Yeah.
My meat, if I'm wanting to do some fajitas or little small strips of meat, I freeze my meat like a steak, and I freeze it or almost freeze it. I don't want it solid frozen. If it's solid frozen, I let it set out just a few minutes, and then you take a sharp knife and then you just shred it or cut it however thin slices you want, and it cuts perfect.
You know we talk with our hands.
Do we?
It's kind of scary when you have a knife.
Got a knife in my hand?
I'm gonna need hazard pay today.
Silly. Okay, so here's our peaches. Or I'm gonna take my gloves off. And but anyway, that's how I cut my meat. And the peaches would be easier to cut when they're frozen. So, all right, now I'm gonna put 3/4 a cup of Imperial extra fine sugar. That's
3/4 a cup?
Yeah, I need 3/4. No,
Nope.
there was a 3/4 out. Here, here it is. 3/4. First of all, I'm gonna put the flavor in there over these. I want the almond.
Not this?
Almond.
Double string?
Almond. Should have some almond here somewhere.
Right here.
Yep. Okay. So I want 1.5 teaspoons of almond. What's that? Here's my half. I'm gonna put this over these peaches. This is almond extract. That's 1 teaspoon, and then 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. All right. And then I'm putting. You know what I'm gonna do?
What's that?
Get me one of those bowls up there, please. Right here.
The little
The
one?
big one. The biggest one.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my cornstarch here. I'm going to put this 3/4 cup of sugar in here, and I'm going to put 5 teaspoons of cornstarch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Linda, Carla, if you'll whisk that together, please. Just kind of stir that cornstarch in with the sugar. That's your thickening, and that's all the thickening you need. And we're just gonna pour that over. I'm gonna get stir up these peaches a little bit. That vanilla, that almond extract. I'm just gonna stir it around over the peaches. I've got them cut in small pieces. All right, you can just sprinkle that over this, please.
Y'all be sure and share, like and share our videos. Sometimes it's called sprinkles.
Yeah, yeah. We're the end of this month when Linda gets back. We are giving away one of these stand mixers, Pampered Chef stand mixers, and
Very nice.
What we want you to do is comment on all of our videos and share from now to the end of the month. If you belong to a group, and they don't mind you share it.
There's a group that doesn't mind. Some of them do, and they'll say so in their rules. We don't want, you can't share this or that or whatever. But if you're in one that lets you share your favorite recipes, your favorite shows, cooking shows, just things that you like, then share this.
Right.
Share
our page and
let
tell
us know.
Yeah.
If you'll email us, go to their website, www.pinkymalskitchen.com, and send me a little letter letting me know, then we'll put your name in the bond for this.
Okay. And then you pour your peaches over your crust. Get all this out of here. You want to get that bowl scraper out of there, Carla? It's that second drawer? I believe it's the second drawer. Yeah. Yes. You'd be surprised how much more you can get out of a bowl by using this bowl scraper. Because that juice
I'm
is...
so glad she didn't have one of those when I was little, because that was my job, licking them bowls.
Yeah, the kids.
I wouldn't have liked that little thing. I'd have been hiding that.
Yeah, it will get every drop out. That's for sure. So, alrighty.
That is so good.
Doesn't that look good? And it smells good too.
Yeah,
I knew when I seen that recipe, I said, you know what?
This is the perfect summer fruit recipe.
Okay.
Sweet.
And now I'm going to add. I'm not gonna. I threw away my brown sugar imperial bag, so I'm putting 2 tablespoons of imperial brown sugar in my reserved here. Get another spoon out. I'm bad about that, and I'm just gonna kind of mix it up. That's just adding a little bit more sugar to this. I just wanted it. It just seemed like, I just wanted it a little sweeter. So anyway, just want to make sure I get all that brown sugar in there. Okay, I think I do. All right, and Carla, you can just help me. We'll just sprinkle this on top. I'll put it there so both of us can get to it. And this is your little crumbs. That's why it's called crumbs. It's a little different from the crumbs that I've made before. I've never added egg in it. It's just been the sugar and the butter. So it's gonna be a little different. I'm anxious to see how it's gonna work. But I'm sure it's gonna be good. Just cover all of your peaches. I'm just gonna put the rest of it here on top. Okay, thank you, Carla. These big lumps, I'm gonna kind of break up a little bit. I don't want it to be like a chunk of dough. Just, little crumbles. Okay, we put it in the oven now. And it's supposed to bake for 40 to 45 minutes. Is your hands cleaner than mine?
No.
Okay,
But
well, I
what you
got
want
to
me to
wash
do?
my, put it in the oven for me. Okay, all right, push it on back a little further, please. Thank you. Now I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'm gonna start on something else. My whole family, I made a meatloaf last night. Meatloaf, potatoes and gravy and whole green beans. My kids love those whole green beans. And I have enough, Carla. You can probably have some for lunch if you want to. I'm gonna get this out of the way. But Carla, she loves chicken and dumplings, and I was trying to think of something to cook for supper, and then she can take some home to Scott. So I have made, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. I boiled chicken this morning. And this is my tools that I use.
This woman loves feeding people. A lot. Like, if you come to her house, just expect to eat something because she's gonna want to feed you. And we love that.
I boiled a whole package of boneless chicken thighs. I think there was like 8 or 9, might have been 8. Boneless, and then a large boneless chicken breast. And I also put, I put about a fourth, no, I probably put more than that. I probably put a half a cup of chicken broth. But I'm cooking in a 9-quart pot pan.
A big one.
A big one, because I've got several people that I'm gonna take this to. So that's what I started at. I filled my pot. I probably put 7 quarts of water. Probably did, because I wanted a lot of juice. And then I put one of those large cans of cream of chicken soup after I took my chicken out. This recipe to the chicken and dumplings, we've made them on air before. So that's
And
why.
it's one of the things that's kind of been like a generational recipe,
Yeah.
because I liked it so much that I made the same thing for my daughters. Now
Yeah.
they're adults making the same thing for their families. So
Okay. All right, Carla, do you want to help me?
Sure.
What I'm doing is I'm taking, you know, the chicken, when you boil it, sometimes it has this little bit of skin, or not skin, fat. I want that off. So I'm just picking that. I've heating my broth up again,
now,
because.
do you want this a certain size?
Well,
or
I got
way, or-
the chicken breast you can cut up, but I want the fat. I'm gonna show you. I want that. See that little bit of skin? I don't want that in there.
Okay.
So do that before we cut it.
Okay.
So, and then this is just this stuff like this. I don't put in there. I don't put in the dumplings.
My poor kids, they got all of it.
Well, I picked this out. It's bad. So, anyway, while we're waiting on that to get done, I didn't put the timer on. Timer 40 minutes.
I also had 8 of them. I had a lot of kids. I had
Yes.
4 of my own, and then we were foster parents for about 6 years. So I fed an army 3 times a day.
Yes,
So
yes.
there was a reason they got all of it. I wasn't super picky. It was edible. It was gonna get in there.
And she had lots of dishes to wash. I mean, lots of dishes.
I got experience in that area.
Yeah. I will, I'm putting the meat here that you can chop up, and I'll get the fat
Oh,
off.
okay. I'm still not doing it. You talking about a micromanager?
Oh, goodness, Carl.
I got booted, little Linda.
Little Linda's more particular than,
Yeah, she
than
is.
I am.
She is. She inherited that from you.
But I tell you what, the older you get,
I already lost my job.
the older you get, the less particular you get.
Uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah. I used to be a lot more particular than I am now. But anyway,
You're perfect, Mama.
well,
Don't
thank you.
change a thing.
I just do things a little bit different than I used to. I remember when Carl and them, all the kids used to come. There'd be
Unknown caller.
there would be but you know, you have to change the linens after they leave. You know, change that, and I'd be doing that before they ever got to the end of the road. And I would find all kind of things that they left under the bed or behind something. And sometimes I'd find something before they ever got out of the driveway because I would start looking. And now, when I have company, I sit down. I do. I have to sit down and rest a while before I can get up and start doing a lot. But anyway, that's just life. But we're just going to cut this. And Linda makes homemade dumplings. I can do it, but when my mother showed me about the tortillas, the flour tortillas, that's
It's my favorite. It's so simple.
It is
Why would
simple.
anybody want to make it more complicated than it has to be?
So
I mean, I understand there are recipes for really good ones,
right.
But this works.
But
It's delicious.
This is what my kids liked because that's what I cooked for them a lot because that was just the going fad back years ago, and I've always
It's my favorite.
done it with chicken. Flour tortillas.
Yep. Very simple.
I've never counted them. Shelly, my granddaughter, asked me one day. She texted me and said, "How many tortillas do you put in your dumplings?" I said, "Oh, Shelly, I don't know."
How many I have?
I don't know. I don't really count them. Well, I counted the ones I made today.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to be enough. I'll know when I start putting them in the pot. But I did 25 today.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see. I like the juice. I like juice in mine.
Oh, I do too.
Little Linda, she likes them thick. So, you know. And I tell you what it is, when you cook these, they have a lot more juice and liquid when you first make them, but when they sit in the pot for a while, they thicken up. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Don't fill so much dumplings in there that that you don't have any broth left, because you need that broth in there to for the dumplings, the tortillas to soak up. So.
And I remember saving the broth, some of the broth from, I would pour some of it out, and save it for whenever I was reheating the leftovers.
I know. I almost did that. Matter of fact, I did do that. I took out 3 cups of the broth this morning.
Yeah.
And was going to add it to, when it got thickened up. But you know what? When I took those 3 cups out of there, I knew that it wouldn't be enough. So
when you're making a big pot like that, sometimes you need every bit of it.
Right. But I've done that lots of times, Linda. The car will take some broth out. But I'll just make me some more broth is what I'll do when it gets thick. I use that kind that I buy at Sam's, the broth. It's a chicken base, and I put water. Its measurements is on the side to use the chicken base and water and boil it in a boiler. And you can make your own chicken broth like that. Don't put a lot of salt, because that chicken base is really salty. So you don't want to add a lot of salt. I salt my chicken a little bit when I'm cooking it, but I don't put a lot if I'm using that chicken base, because that chicken base is extremely salty.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
We were kids, in the summertime we'd go, when Granny lived out there on the farm.
Yes.
and we worked hard like during the daytime, and the evening times we would sit around and shell peas or shuck corn.
Yes, we did. Out under the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did that. That was some good times.
We would just work with our hands while we were talking. Hi, Brayden.
Hey.
Want to be on the show? No, he doesn't want to.
Carl was old enough and was around before Molly and Paul passed away, so she got to see and be around my grandparents.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, and Carla, she loved my mother. She loved
Very, very, very close relationship with my Granny Pinkston. I miss her every day.
Now Pinky Ball, Carla was old enough to be Pinky Ball too.
She was a little spitfire.
That's where Linda gets hers. Pinky Ball, she was a mess. She was
in the
her
most
80s.
Wonderful way. We say that with the utmost respect and regard.
Yeah.
She was a godly lady. She loved the Lord. She loved us kids. She gave panties for Christmas.
Yeah, she did. She quilted all my kids a quilt.
Even
baby
when she lost
quilt.
her eyesight, she was still quilting.
Yeah, she
Very talented.
Little Linda got the last quilt she quilted. Little Linda was a baby when she passed away. Chuck was a baby when Pinky Paw passed away.
I remember that's kind of one of my earliest memories. Whenever that was, however old I was,
Chuck was a baby.
I remember being in this room. It had to have been the funeral, and I could hear singing, like choir kind of singing, but there was no people singing in the room. It was coming from the walls or somewhere, and I remember thinking there must be angels singing. Because I can't see no people. I mean, I was small. I was very little. I didn't have.
He was probably about between 3 and 4.
But it was just very curious to me that I could hear singing, but couldn't see nobody singing. So I thought it was angels.
Yeah. That's when Chuck was a baby. He cried all the time.
Yeah.
Cried all the time. I may be wishing that I've taken some of that broth out, because it's going to be a boiler full. Is this scraps?
Yep.
Okay. Get rid of that. Yeah. I think I've probably got too much. But
We don't have to put all of it in there if it
no,
doesn't
I won't.
fit.
I won't fit y'all. This is my flour tortillas. I've already cut up. This is Mission flour tortillas, and I cut up into 1-inch squares, 25. So now this broth with the creamy chicken soup has to be a rapid boil before you put these tortillas in there. So as soon as it comes to a boil, I'm not going to put the chicken in there until the dumplings get done, because I want these dumplings to get puffed up. They will puff up, and I want them to cook good. Since I got such a big pot, I will add the chicken after the dumplings get done, and it'll heat right up. But anyway, I'm waiting on this to get to rolling boiling now. I had it on, but I didn't have it on high. So,
Everyone's asking about peach bars.
the peach bars are in the oven, and we'll go ahead and break off, unless you want to see me put these dumplings in there. These dumplings, what you do is when the broth and the creamy chicken soup, when it comes to a boil, I put a handful at a time, mash it down into the boiler, into the broth, then put another handful and make sure that they're all down in your broth. And then you turn your burner down to low, but keep it on a low boil. You don't want a rapid boil. Put the lid on it for 20 minutes. Don't peek, because when you peek, you let that boil. You drop the temperature. Leave it on there for 20 minutes, and then your dumplings will be done in 20 minutes. And then I will add my chicken, and it'll cook for a few minutes after I put the dumplings in, after I put the chicken in there. But anyway, we'll go ahead and hop off. I'll show you the dumplings whenever they get ready, and I'll also come back and show you the bars. But they have to cook. They like about 30 more minutes. So when they come out of the oven, then I got to let them cool them in it because of the peaches. Because when you cut them in bars, you don't want it to run just like a peach pie. Mm-hmm. So we will take them out of the oven in about 30 minutes, and then they've got to cool 10 or 15 minutes at least. Maybe longer than that. But we'll come back and I will show you on air me cutting the squares so you can see how it comes out. We thank y'all so much for joining us this morning, and we'll be back again tomorrow at my house. Tomorrow, Linda will be flying out tomorrow.
Yay, she's headed to Ireland.
And she will be doing some filming, so you can keep up with what she's doing, which is going to be a great experience for her, and also y'all, us that's watching and following her. So just keep her in your prayers that she'll have a safe trip over there and back, and have the time of her life. This is something she's wanted to do, and so I'm glad that she's getting to do it. So yes. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and I will be back in probably about an hour, at least an hour. I'll be back and show you the finished product.
Turn your notifications on, that little bell.
Don't forget to share and comment.
Yes. Because
we're watching the comments. We want to know where you're from and how long you've been watching us. Mm-hmm. We'd like to know that. So put it in comments, and because we will be giving away that $400 stand mixer, and the reason we're giving it away is because this month, actually it's the 19th of this month, we have been videoing for 3 years. 3 years. And we are trying so hard to get to the
Yes, don't help them out. They're so close to a major milestone.
So anyway, y'all are just fantastic.
Yes.
I know y'all have been sharing. We appreciate that. Just continue to do that. But if you have a group on your page, well, send them, share with them.
And then let us know that you shared it with that group so that we can be encouraged.
Right. Thank y'all. We love y'all. See you in about an hour. Bye-bye.
Bye.